So let's make bagels. The first time I made bagels, I was amazed at how easy they were. So I'm going to show you how I make the bagels. I'm using a recipe that I adapted between Clever Carrot and Farmhouse on Boone. And I rewrote the recipe so that it makes sense to me. I like really simple recipes with not a lot of extra instructions, so it's very quick and easy. So I'm going to have this on my blog so you can download the PDF. But the point is, the major fermenting happens overnight, which is different than the sourdough bread typically that I make. So it's in the evening and it's 6 p.m. I'm going to make the dough. It's going to rest for an hour. Then we're going to shape it into the overnight ferment bowl, which will be back here in my heated dome. So I've weighed everything and measured everything out already to prepare the dough for the fermenting. So in the mixer, we're going to use the dough hook on the mixer. I'm going to put everything into this bowl to mix to get things going. Now we're starting with, let's see, 250 grams of warm, and I use filtered tap water, so 250 grams of warm tap water, 150 grams of starter, and I'm using starter that I took out of the refrigerator about an hour ago, so it's a little bit soft and not as stiff as it would be right out of the refrigerator. And I'm using the starter now right out of the refrigerator instead of feeding it and waiting. So I know it's very active and it's ready to go. 24 grams of sugar, regular white sugar, and you just stir this to get the starter to soften up a bit and get the sugar to dissolve. And the warm water is key for that. And don't make the water too hot because it'll kill your starter. So just a stir on that. I like using a stick for stirring. And I already have my salt in this is bread flour, 500 grams of 500 grams of bread flour and 10 grams of salt. And I already put that together. I'm going to put in just a little bit into this mixture to get it and stir it in, and then put it in the mixer with the dough hook. So the reason why it's so simple is you're not handling the dough as you do with your typical sourdough loaf. So I'm doing the 6 p.m., getting the dough established, letting it rest for an hour till 7 p.m. Then I'll put it in the bowl for the overnight ferment, which will be for 12 hours. So it's just slightly mixed together there. We're going to add the rest of the flour. And you got to go slow to get the flour to get wet, otherwise it splashes all over. Here's the dough trying to get mixed up here. You will have to scrape the bowl down to get everything incorporated. Scrape down the sides of the bowl to get all the flour incorporated. It's going to be a shaggy dough to get it started. And that's fine because it's going to rest for an hour and it'll get moist. Just doing it to bring the dough together. So once the dough or the flour is incorporated, it's shaggy and it's kind of dry. That's okay. I'm going to put it in this glass bowl because it fits in my dome nicely. I'm just going to bring it together by hand. So I'm just going to let this rest. So you can cover it with plastic wrap, a damp towel, and leave it exposed. But what I do is I put it into my dome. And I have this dome. Our kitchen is pretty cool in the winter, which is winter now. So I have this dome set on, I have it on low. I don't want it too hot because it's going to ferment for 12 hours. So it needs to be slow. And I found that this will stay at 70 degrees for overnight, which is pretty perfect. So we're going to check back in an hour. We're going to take the dough out. So after the hour, here's what the dough looks like. I'm going to wet my hand. I'm not going to use flour, and it is really stiff. It's like a brick. Look at that. But that's just what it is. It's different dough. I'm wetting my hand a little bit to keep my hand from sticking. I don't want to add any more flour. And all I want to do is make a ball. And that is some stiff dough. You know, with the sourdough, after an hour, you pick it up and it's very soft. So I'm just making a smooth ball here. That's all that I'm doing. It doesn't look pretty, and that's it. It's going in this bowl. I'm going to put it here overnight. I'm going to leave the dough. I'm putting it into my heated dome, and I have the heat mat on low. We're going to cover that, and that's it. I'm going to actually lock the lid, and then in the morning, 7 a.m., we're going to be ready to make bagels. It's been an hour. Let's check in on the dough. It is 8 o'clock, and I'm certain that want to check the temperature of the dough. Oh, good. It's 72. So that will be nice. I have the heated mat on low. I've mentioned this in my other sourdough video. Putting the lid back on before we then will shape the bagels, boil, and bake them. So until tomorrow, good night, bagel dough. It's just after 7 a.m. Let's check the dough. It looks pretty good. I took a sneak peek. Look at that. It has doubled in size. You can see it has some nice air in there. And that was effortless. Put it in the bowl and it did its work overnight. The dough maintained 70 degrees. Very happy with the dough. And the next step is you put it onto the work surface, a non-floured work surface. And that's why the Silpat is so great. It's still very stiff. You work it into a rectangle. Try to get the dough as even thickness throughout, so that when you cut it into the equal pieces, they'll be similar in size. Looks great. It feels rubbery. Unlike a nice pillowy sourdough bread loaf, this feels stiffer and rubbery. Okay, so I've got it into a rectangle. It's a little lumpy. Now, I typically cut this into 8 pieces, which I'm going to do today for 8 smaller bagels. They're about this big. But if you wanted the New York style, you could easily cut it into 6 and just boil it a little bit longer. So I'm going to cut this into 8. I'm not going to measure the weight of them, just eyeballing it. Again, they're homemade. They're not going to be perfect. Always use the plastic cutting when you're on the Silpat. And make a ball. Turn each one into a ball. I just kind of roll them up. Still sticky on the inside, so it's easy to roll onto itself. I like to form simple balls. I've learned after boiling, they will take on an odd shape. If they're odd shape, that shape remains. So I think if you like the rounder look, it's nice to make the effort to create a ball. I'm going to let these rest for 15. See how messy that one looks. So those are going to sit here for about 10 to 15 minutes and let that relax before we poke the holes. So it's been about 10 minutes, and now we shape them, we flatten them out, poke a hole in the center. I just use my thumb and index finger, and you spread the hole out kind of to a walnut size. I'm going to put on the sheet here, and then they're going to rest again for another 10 to 15 minutes. And we'll see that this will close in a little bit, but that's okay. The shape is usually pretty irregular. I haven't been able to get it perfectly equal around, but that's okay. They won't puff out too much more after this, but the idea is to allow the dough, the gluten to relax. So there's our 8 bagel shapes. And you can see that that hole is closing in, which I don't know if that's really important, but it's just kind of nice to have the hole in the middle. I spread them out a little bit. I'll pick up the camera so you can see the funky shapes. So you could still mess with them a little bit if you wanted to. While the dough is resting, you get your water started. And I am using the method of 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. These are going to rest here. I've got the poppy seeds ready for dipping. Once the bagels go into the water to boil, they come out, and then we're going to dip them into the poppy seeds. The water is boiling. The oven is preheated at 425. I'm going to drop 3 bagels in at a time, and they will boil for about 45 seconds aside. They have softened up. Just drop them right in. Then they float up. Pick the camera up. So here they are floating. Look like donuts. And you just flip them over. Make sure they get boiled on each side. So it's about 1.5 minutes total. So you take them out, put them back on the sheet, let them cool off for a minute, and then we're going to dip them. Put the next 3 in. A little bit of multitasking. And you do the rounded side, typically. You can see which one is, that's the rounded side and a flat side. And look at that! That's so cool. So again, they came to float. I'm flipping them. So each bagel has a more flat side and a rounded side. Put these next 2 in. Whoa, it's hot. Hot. That's okay. I use poppy seed because I like poppy seed. Even though they make a mess. Get poppy seeds everywhere. A few more seconds and then we're done. How easy is that? Then they go in the oven for 25 minutes. The hands-on time is very short. It just takes time for that overnight ferment, but I find it's pretty effortless. And there we go. And there's the bagels after they're boiled, now into the oven. The bagels are done. They're looking great. They're soft. They have a beautiful looking lightly golden bottom. So you can see here the shapes get a little funky. It's all about how you shape them, and the holes do fill in. And that's great. It looks homemade, and that's what I'm always going for. So we're going to try one. Now, when they're fresh out of the oven, I don't toast them. Oh my gosh, they're just so nice. Look, they're steaming, that nice soft texture. Got a little crispy on the outside. We'll wait for it to cool for a little bit and we'll put some butter on it. The finished product, a fresh out of the oven homemade bagel, and it's delicious. Now I'm going to make bagels in the larger size. So we're going to do 6 bagels with the same dough. But look at the dough. That rose beautifully. I'm going to cut it into 6. Cut these into thirds. Form them into balls. Oh, these look good. Okay, so I'll try that and see how that shapes up, literally. Now we're going to let them rest for 10 minutes. Flatten them down. I think I did better this time. This one is an oddball, small. Pick them up. Just use your thumb and your fingers to open that up. I try to stretch it a little bit more than walnut size because I've learned that as they rest, they start to fill back in. These look like they'll be more of the size of your standard New York style bagel. I'm going to obsess a little bit over the shape this time. Practice makes perfect. They're a little more uniform than the smaller ones in the other clip. If you really want to obsess over it, you can keep playing with the shape. This is the larger size bagel. I like it better. This one here in the middle looks like the size of the first round. So I think I'm going to stick with this size, 6 bagels per recipe. Let's look at them on the bottom. Oh, beautiful. I cooked these a little longer. I cooked these for 23 minutes versus the smaller size I cooked for 20. I also boiled them a little bit longer. I cut one of the larger bagels open to show you just how pretty they are inside. Lovely golden color on the bottom. Soft. See that they're moist. I highly recommend making the homemade sourdough bagels. It is so easy, as you saw, and it takes not a lot of hands-on time. So give it a try, enjoy it. Check my blog for the simplified recipe. And thanks to all the other sourdough enthusiasts out there sharing how they're doing the sourdough, because it has helped me immensely.